Hello, everybody. Welcome to another live podcast of the MI podcast. My podcast is a particular channel for marketing and media professionals. We take out very interesting topics for you all. So today's interesting topic would be about personal branding. We have just entered the new year. What does personal branding mean in 2026? Well, with the internet, we've seen, over the last decade, the reach that has been there, the different kind of devices that are there, the amount of consumption that is there. You have internet made, so-called stars or people who dominate public opinion. So they have come up a lot, and they have come up by building their own personal brand. It's not necessarily just in the entertainment or media field. We have brands built in virtually personal brands built in virtually every industry that is out there. So personal branding has made a massive comeback over the last few years and will be even more big now. With the advent of AI, the ease of production that is there, you can get so many great ideas from these chatbots. You can create different kind. You can even create videos and images and all. It's just become so much easier to create that content. Earlier, when you need it may be a very huge workforce in the thing. Now you can just person has the capacity with a few AI tools to create consistent content or also quality content, which maybe earlier was not the case, where you needed a lot of human resources or a lot of resources in general to pull this off, like people almost posting as much as a media company. But that is the reality today with uh, AI. This accessibility is there to so many more people. So basically we are looking at where the markets per se, when you look at communication that is happening to the particular target audience, no longer it is being driven by the companies. It's driven by so-called stars within that particular industry. So what do I mean by these particular stars? I mean category leaders. You can have thinkers out there. They have different kind of opinion on different topics. They research and presented. You have various content creators. You have the founders. You have people, different kind of artists there. You even have working professionals in different fields. You could be marketing, into finance, in HR, or whichever. You will have professionals like doctors, lawyers, and all, real estate people, and we see the videos all the time. So they all have build a powerful brand of theirs, which is driving business to their particular brands or whichever business, whatever they're pursuing. So this has been become a reality today with personal branding. So we'll just discuss a few things about personal branding in general and how you can kind of build your own personal brand in 2026. So personal branding has seen the rise of the category star, with the help of the internet. So every industry, you have a certain stars in it. In terms of in marketing, you'll have your independent, your strategist. You'll have a person into consultancy who's talking about different kind of things in marketing. Fitness, you'll have coaches. Business, you'll have the founders talking about their journey, their experiences. Within finance, different kind of financial advice that is being given. Mental health advocates, you have people in tech, where you're reviewing different, say, devices. So there are various kind of, I mean, categories out there. Every category that you are working in or you are passionate about, you can create a brand of for yourselves. So basically, these individuals you observe, they are the ones who are shaping the opinions. They are the ones who are setting the trends in the industry. They are majorly driving buying decisions, for which with paid collaborations they associate with certain brands for the products. And they influence people a lot also, like people are getting into content creation because of them. And also, um, there's a certain trust with what they say, also there's a certain responsibility. So um, this is somewhere where when you look at this whole category star, this is how it has come up. And um, in terms of as a content creator also, this is an inspirational thing. Plus as marketers, we have to look at who to follow, and or who to associate with, wherein you are creating some, like say a branded content. Awesome. So continuing on this point, with trust has shifted from institutions to individuals. So people, they are not, I mean, the day most probably are gone only of where you're following a certain brand, you're following people within that. So that is why also when you have these big brands, you have the leaders in that brand, could be in the C suite and all. They are so many, like freelancers and agencies who handle the particular social media accounts of them, because it's not the brand pages which are being followed, it is the people who represent the brand are being followed. So people are the ones who are carrying authority. Reason being, because we as human beings, we want faces, we want stories, we want some kind of a lived experience which person is sharing. We want a bit of relatability. So um, today, any individual's voice now travels faster and deeper than any corporate message. So this is how the market is kind of shifted. So you have to kind of shift accordingly. So today's star power is a major economic power. So a star power on the internet, in terms of the people talking to you, and connecting with you on, a major social media platform, is what is required to, drive the thing within social media or the internet space. So how do you, like, you can use this stuff for launching products, you can look at for building communities, which is very important, which I've discussed, earlier in my, also in within social media optimization. You, as a founder who is very active on social media, it helps in a more, higher level of credibility, and you're creating that personal brand that will attract capital for various business ventures. People have even started some kind of a movement online, through their own personal brand, what they are talking about, what they feel really deeply about. And because of that, the marketing budgets also have kind of restructured, because with that amount of star power, people will be less reliant on ads, and um, more when you're associating with that particular um, person or content creator, whoever has the use personal brand. You try to create a branded content with them, right? So one such person, with which has a huge amount of credibility and trust in a particular industry or field, can definitely outperform a lot of ads. So that's the reason, the companies, they are partnering with individuals. Brands are built around the actual founders. A popular founder can, from one particular business, can start various businesses, because he's already captured a, a certain amount of audience attention of its customers, and also goodwill he has built is help will help him building other kind of products and services as well, and newer brands. Um, so basically the market, you're trusting a particular voice, right? In that particular, that is what is carrying it through. So that's how the way forward is. So every industry today is becoming like a creator economy. So it's not, we are not talking about influencers, talking about credible professionals, becoming public thinkers. They're putting their thing out there, whatever they talk, whether it's into any finance or HR or any kind of industries. So whether it being doctors, it is helping them, connect more with the prospective customers, or the consultants, and um, you can have IT engineers, you can have marketers. So they all are using their personal brand to drive their particular businesses. Identity has become the strongest marketing channel because your reputation is equivalent to your reach, your voice becomes your distribution, your values are your positioning, and your individual unique story is your differentiation. You have to try extra to stand out. If you are authentic, you will stand out. So we are no longer selling products as customers. We are basically following those particular people that we talked about as these category leaders. So this is very interesting, I think, podcast that little bit I've tried to share about personal branding. What is it in 2026? The importance of it, at least, which is there. So we all, I think, is required. You can be anyone in the particular industry, but try to build a personal, whether you're doing a job or you have a huge business. Um, this there is just, I mean, the upsides are just a lot, like in terms, than if you take a downside or something, which is like you are in the public eye and all. So this year, it marks the return of the individual as the most powerful economic force in the market. And the stars out there, they are no longer born in the studio, the entertainment world. They are built on the internet, and when since they are built on the internet, they can be in any kind of domain or industry. So I think that's an interesting and also very um, inspiring thing. Like people, we all can go and build our personal brands for the same. Awesome, awesome. So let's look at a few of a Q&A here. Some questions about personal branding. If you have, let's just take them. Awesome. So firstly, is personal branding still important if I don't want to be an influencer? So yeah, that's, I think, the purpose of this particular podcast, where is talking that that's the sole purpose of being uh, a professional content creator is personal branding. These tools that you use, it will help you in any way within your career, right? Like, so um, if we look at different professionals, whether a person looking for a job or somebody is a recruiter looking at right candidates, you have clients, you have investors. So basically you can get discovered more on the net, like place like LinkedIn also, which is for like working professionals. And also it just helps your personal brand. So it's basically a career leverage tool. How do I differentiate my personal brand when my industry is already crowded? Today all the industries would be crowded because of competition, how many people are there, and at one thing. So um, I would say, that is where personal branding comes. And how do you differentiate? Like when there's like a popular saying, like if 100 people are selling the same product, it is the one, if one is successful, that one is most probably is being successful is because of effective marketing, right? So um, basically, as a personal brand, you should not compete on topics. It is your perspective that is what is unique about everyone. Every human being, you have a different perspective how you can express it the best, right? So this is your lived experience that you have, your decision making style, and your worldview, which is you cannot copy that thing with AI. And also these are all unique, very unique to you. So definitely it's a differentiator. Awesome. Does personal branding really translate into money and opportunities? Uh, Definitely, because if you have more reach, more people know you, and you have highlighted your strengths and your different perspective, that is all things that attract people towards you, right? So that will result in better jobs opportunities, a higher consulting fee if you're into consultancy, and people are able to trust you better. You're part of high level groups, and the right, like, powerful decision makers will discover you easily, right? Like, so, I mean, it is going to result in that. So that is an effort you have to make within that. So next question: isn't AI going to make person brand less relevant? This is totally incorrect, because it is going to actually the opposite. Content creator, so content, it becomes easier to create, and human credibility is actually becomes more rarer, because um, you your own unique perspective and all, and people would want to connect with you, because there's so much of content out there. How do your credibility, how do you kind of increase with it? So it becomes a rare commodity. That's why today it's sky high rates in terms of people, very popular content creators, when they have a particular meetup or a direct consultancy, is because that personal touch is becoming more valued, right? So it is going to actually, personal brand going forward, if you are talking about the relevancy, there will be more in personal brands. So even if you have a lot of AI out there, it is what you bring as a human being that is going to hold value. This is an interesting question. So I think there are a lot of working professionals out there. So can someone with a regular job build a personal brand without harming the employer relationship? Right. So honestly, it's a good question when you look at it. Like, how do I kind of frame it? So in this 2020, you have smart people, smart employers. They will all actually value if you're doing something on social media which is of value, like, I would say, if you have good quality content where you are giving education, or enlightening, some kind of entertainment way also. It can be in an art form or something. So when you're building a personal brand, that can be attached with your company. Um, so when you have that quality content, you can attach, like, your social media also, how you represented it will help that particular company. Like, you've seen a lot of these content creators, like, they Shona, they have a vlog of their office, or they will talk about certain process of it, or the canteen they show, or something like that. So this is an indirect branding, like employer branding of the company also, so if you can say so. And they talk about their journey there and all, and if they have a certain amount of social media following, that help the company also in terms of the distribution of their marketing messages and all. So I think smart employers today, it's there's so much in the world out there. When you're putting out content, you as an employer cannot avoid. So if somebody is doing a good job in it, then it'll, I think, support the company only. Awesome. So what's the biggest mistake when that we see when we are building a personal brand? um Obviously, the biggest mistake is where you try to be impressive, like, you're trying to impress. It's mostly about how you express. You are trying to be useful and real. So this is obviously in the more domain related, not talking about entertainment related personal brand. So um, people look at that, like, a lot of can express the views well, and it has a lot of clarity of you, and different shades of your personality also come out through the content. So you should kind of encourage that. Don't try to play a character, follow a script, in especially when we are looking at domain related content. And also, I think, be authentic. Awesome. So I think we know interesting podcast, and thank you for asking very good questions. I think they were pretty interesting. A lot of the viewers will kind of get my perspective on these questions, which were kind of very interesting. So thank you so much for that. So if you want to access this particular podcast, you can access through Modern Intelligence. Please can go and subscribe to it. And this podcast, Emma Podcast, is available on all the major podcast networks. So until the next time, I'll see you all. Take care.